I think that this OS functionality is the only path forward for Xbox, and if I were at the helm, I would figure out how to get it working on all existing Xbox platforms today.
What?
Before I dive more into that, I've had a few days with the ROG Xbox Ally X, which was provided by Microsoft for review,
Download and play Xbox games on. This is a dedicated PC handheld. This is a dedicated PC handheld. This is a dedicated PC handheld. This is a dedicated PC handheld.
It's hard for me to even understand what this is, let alone explain it to you. I mean, Microsoft calls it an Xbox, but it's plastered with ROG branding. You can't play the vast majority of your old Xbox game library, and even the special sauce, the Xbox full screen experience that runs over top of Windows, feels like it could have just as easily been an app that runs over top of Windows. Feels like it could have just as easily been an app that runs over top of Windows, runs over top of Windows, runs over top of Windows.
This is their answer for handheld gaming. It is a partnership with Asus to create what they're calling the Xbox full screen experience on a Windows handheld. If you're confused what that mouthful means, you're not alone. So let's figure out what exactly is the Xbox Ally.
Piece of garbage.
Here are the biggest gaming leaks and news you've probably missed this week. Before we get into why the Xbox ROG Ally is definitely not worth your money and the future of the PS6 and PS6 handheld coming soon, let's talk a bit about gaming discourse and how it's devolved into rage bait politics and flat-out lies about there being no games this generation. Some people even say we shouldn't be talking about the PS6 or next-gen consoles at all because of this so-called no games myth. First, let's listen to what this guy has to say. Then I'll go ahead and debunk his claims.
Why in the hell are we talking about the PlayStation 6 and the next generation Xbox console? I'm sorry. Did this console generation get started without notifying me? Did I slip into a coma and I missed several years of high quality video games releasing from first party studios from these companies, and I was in a coma and I slept through it? Because spoiler alert, I don't think that is the case. So the latest rumors that are out there have both the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Series whatever, maybe they'll call it the Series PC because it's allegedly going to be a PC console hybrid, as both targeting a 2027 release. And I know what you're saying to yourself, well, RGT, when you look at the traditional console cycle, 7 years is more than applicable for something like this to happen. And sure, in the past, when there was actually things that you could do that were a bit different with the hardware, I completely agree with you. The whole thing of it was developers themselves.
I don't know about you or other people online or even some of these content creators, but I feel like a lot of them are just getting old. Not in a bad way, but in that stuck in the past kind of way. They hold on to this weird nostalgia where they think gaming peaked 10 years ago and everything now just can't compare. But personally, and I mean personally, I think this generation is awesome. Like, yeah, it's not perfect. Xbox is completely falling apart right now. Between the endless price hikes and massive retailers like Costco and Target literally dropping Xbox consoles because it costs more to stock them than it's worth, that says a lot. For a big retailer to say, yeah, we'd rather fill this shelf space with something else, that's brutal. It's like even the stores are losing faith in the brand. Meanwhile, PlayStation is killing it. The PS5 is frickin' awesome. The PS5 Pro, also awesome. The games, the UI, the overall experience, you're getting all that from a $500 plastic box sitting under your TV. And in 2025, that's still unmatched. Now let's talk about Ghost of Yotei. That game is absolutely stunning. I can't even put it into words sometimes. The visuals, the atmosphere, the combat, it just all clicks. I keep saying I'll finish it, but every time I play, I end up wandering off just to soak in the scenery. It's that good. For me, it's hands down my game of the year. So when I say some gaming creators are getting old, this is what I mean. It's when they go, why are we talking about PS6 PS6 when we don't even have games for PS5 right now. And I'm sitting there like, bro, what? Are you even playing games? Because I'm playing on my PS5 Pro every single day. And I've got like 20 games sitting in my backlog waiting for me. And I'm not just talking exclusives. I'm talking third-party bangers, indies, and even Xbox titles that somehow found their way to PS5 now. Like, what more do you want? You've got massive open-world adventures, horror reimaginings, cinematic storytelling, online co-op madness, everything. So when people say there are no games, I genuinely don't know what planet they're on. All right, you know what? Let me actually list a few of the bangers that dropped in the last couple of years, just to remind everyone that we're living in a golden age of gaming. Spider-Man 2, absolute banger. Astro Bot, Game of the Year 2024, and deserved every bit of it. Helldivers 2, easily the best co-op game ever released on PlayStation and PC last year. Death Stranding 2, a straight-up masterpiece in the making. Ghost of Yotei, one of my personal all-time favorites. Returnal, criminally underrated and still a total banger. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, pure fun. Amazing visuals. Kena, Bridge of Spirits, beautiful little gem, solid gameplay, stellar blade, stylish, intense, and just plain awesome. And Wolverine's gameplay, just showcased, and it already looks insane. And that's just first-party stuff. Now, let's talk about third parties, because they've been eating too. Battlefield 6 just dropped, breaking records. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, one of the biggest shocks of the year, and easily a contender for Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong blew people away. Split Fiction looks wild. Resident Evil 9 is coming. Ninja Gaiden 4 is already almost here. Arc Raiders drops this month. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, easily one of the most artistic and hyped RPGs in years. And let's not forget Jedi Survivor, one of the best Star Wars experiences to date. There have been plenty of bangers. So when I hear all this negativity about no games or nothing exciting this gen, I just shake my head, because I'm over here having a blast on my PS5 Pro, bouncing between new releases and my growing backlog. So maybe the problem isn't that there are no games. Maybe the problem is some people just stopped playing them. There's a strong odor of jealousy and hate coming from the PlayStation donkey community. What a nice post, huh? Definitely not rage baity at all, right? The jealousy was too much for him to handle, so he disabled the comments. Probably because even Xbox fans are done with this BS. Go to any review of this PC Xbox handheld, and the top comments you'll see from Xbox fans are, overpriced, scam, after Game Pass hikes, I'm done. These comments get up to 10,000 likes. Yeah, Sony ponies are jealous. All the real Xbox gamers are out here buying the ROG Ally X and paying $30 a month for Game Pass. Sure, surely this is the truth. Why don't you go ahead and activate your comments, buddy? Let's see what real veterans say. Not you guys who got a free review unit from Microsoft and still gave it an okay review. I swear, you can't make this shit up. Tragic. Oh, but wait, there's more. Here's a quote straight from Destin himself. The legendary Xbox fanboy that likes to stir the pot and complains after he gets backlash and community noted. Let's read what this shill said, and we'll get into my response after. I've never seen PlayStation fanboys madder than when I talk about enjoying PlayStation games on the ROG Xbox Ally X. Is Spider-Man 2018 still coming to Xbox? It's been 7 years already. I'm still waiting for this and the rest of your 10 bad predictions to become reality. PlayStation fanboy, he says. Man, nobody wants that overpriced $1,000 PC handheld. Not Xbox fans, not PC gamers, and definitely not Sony ponies. We won't move the console market with $1,000 consoles. Only 4 games. This is Xbox. Phil Spencer, please. Shut up before you get community noted again. I watched it. It's an ad spot, not a review. Microsoft kindly provided a review product. Thank you, Microsoft. Not once did he show that it's literally just the Xbox app running on top of Windows. Press the multitask button and boom, you're in Windows mode. I invite you to watch the video and cringe just like I did.
Provided by Microsoft for review.
Download and play Xbox games on. This is a dedicated PC handheld. This is a dedicated PC handheld. This is a dedicated PC handheld.
Alright, so let's talk about this PlayStation handheld everyone's been whispering about. Because if the leaks are even halfway true, this thing might actually be cheaper and way more practical than that overpriced Xbox-branded ROG Ally X. Here's the deal. The PlayStation handheld, sometimes called the PS5 handheld or PS6 handheld, is reportedly being built by Sony with AMD's help. The leaks say it's running on a 3nm APU, which is insanely efficient. The chip might pack Zen 6 cores, RDNA 5 graphics, and Sony's own PSSR upscaling tech. That's their AI magic that makes lower resolution games look like native 4K. So even if this handheld isn't as strong as a PS5, it could look close enough. Rumors say it'll have 16 gigs of fast LPDDR5X RAM. And yeah, it'll supposedly run PS5 games natively, not just streamed, actual native gameplay on the go. Basically, imagine a smaller downclocked PS6 that uses AI upscaling to make every game look stunning. Now, compare that to the ROG Ally X. Sure, it's more powerful on paper. It runs a Ryzen AI Z2 chip, 24 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, and a 120Hz screen. But here's the catch. It's basically a Windows laptop pretending to be a console. That sounds cool until you realize you'll spend more time dealing with updates, drivers, and settings than actually gaming.
And even the special sauce, the Xbox full screen experience that runs over top of Windows, feels like it could have just as easily been an app that runs over top of Windows.
Oh, and it costs $1,000. Sony doesn't need to play that game. They've got the ecosystem. PlayStation Store, PS Plus, Remote Play, everything connects. So they can price this handheld lower, maybe around $500 or $600, and still make it worth it. That's the strategy. They don't need to win with raw power. They win with accessibility. Plug it in, turn it on, play instantly. No Windows menus, no Game Pass glitches, no setup headaches, just your games running smoothly. And that's what makes it exciting. If Sony nails this, it could be the perfect bridge between console and portable gaming. Sure, none of this is confirmed yet, but if these specs are even half real, this device could make the ROG Ally X look like a luxury toy for people who don't actually play portably. If you enjoyed this video, hey, maybe drop a like. It really helps a lot and tells me you want more. Subscribe for day one gaming leaks and news, and check out these videos you probably missed. Trust me, they're worth it.